Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Hi everyone, Daphne Lage here. Join Nita Lanning and me on the Ragin' 2 the Vlogs show, where we talk about everything, nothing, and all the bits in between. Looking for hour-long conversations about indie comics, social media marketing, and crowdfunding, with the occasional rant and story time? Head on over to the Ragin' 2 channel on YouTube, Mondays through Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern to join in the chat.
Hit the button.
Hi, my name is Janowsky, and I'm the writer and creator of the all-age holiday comic book series, Stanley the Snowman. And this is the Kickstarter for the latest issue of that series, Stanley the Snowman, Operation Save the Holidays.
Operation Stanley was a success, or was it? After Jenny successfully brought Stanley to life to spend the holidays with her family, they decide to celebrate without him. What will Stanley do to keep their holiday traditions alive and stop the family from going to Florida? Find out in the second issue of Stanley the Snowman, Operation Save the Holidays.
So why is it issue number 2? Why not issue number 1? Well, actually, issue number 1 had already been published and printed by Scout Comics through their all-age imprint Scoot. We're very excited and thankful that Scout picked up this book, and we're very happy to be a part of it. The plan was to put the first 24 pages out and then do a graphic novel right after of the entire story. But unfortunately, with the pandemic and COVID and paper shortages, it wasn't able to happen, and we put it on hold. So we didn't want to have you wait months and months and months to find out what's going on with Stanley, so this is why we're doing the Kickstarter for issue number 2. And if you do not have issue number 1, don't worry. You're able to get issue number 1 as well. So check out the campaign, look at the reward tiers. You have something for pretty much everyone. For those who have never read Stanley, you can get catch-up tiers for number 1 and number 2. For those who have, you got different covers, you've got stickers, you've got all sorts of good stuff for the readers and collectors like metal covers. So please take a minute, take a look at our campaign. Hopefully you'll find something that you like, and either way, we appreciate your support. Thanks.
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com, Chief Envelope Licker for Critical Blast Logistics, answers the phone for Critical Blast Consulting, and myopic proofreader for Critical Blast Publishing. Tonight, you know what? It's almost fate that I looked out the window today and saw an hour's worth of snow just coming down on top of our mountain here. It didn't stick, it didn't stay, but it was cold out, and it was cold enough to snow, and it did. Scared the squirrels quite to death. But it's fortuitous because tonight we're looking at a holiday comic. I know it's April, but these things take time, and you know how it goes with crowdfunding. You've got to prepare well in advance to be prepared for these things. So please welcome with me to the show, Mr. Austin Janowsky, the creator of Stanley the Snowman. Austin, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you being here, and I know that you're in an inconvenient place, so if you have to cut out, you just let us know. It's okay. We'll fill time. We'll continue promoting the book if we have to.
I appreciate that.
So tell us a little bit about Stanley and how this came to be. I mean, what you had to write a Snowman comic. Why a Snowman comic?
So I have 3 kids, 3 daughters. When they were young teenagers, opening up presents, they were griping that one had one more, then one had a bigger one, and they just weren't fully satisfied. They wanted to open up more presents. And I'm thinking, when we were growing up, we had one big present and we had stockings and that was it. And it was all about, the family traditions and the holidays and everything like that. It wasn't about getting things. And I was like, man, the commercialism's really just kind of taken things over in the past 20 or so years. It's, Black Friday and everything.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be interesting if we could maybe do a story showing, the more needing of traditions and the family traditions and all that sort of thing, and maybe have a balance between the two. So that's how I first came up with the story. And I didn't want to do a Santa story, and I didn't want to do a reindeer story. And back then, 10 years ago, no one's really done a Snowman story since Frosty, and this was before Frozen and all that.
Yeah.
And so that's just kind of how it came about.
So you did the first issue with Scout Comics.
Yep.
How was the reception on that one?
Oh, it was great. We did. Well, let me back up just a little. We actually did a Kickstarter for the first 17 pages. It was black and white to kind of introduce and get it out there. And then we were able to give it to Scout, and they loved it, and it fit their all-age line. And we sold about 6,000 copies. And we were in the top 400 of Diamond's monthly sold. We were like 285, which I thought was really impressive for a $2 kids book, Well,
part of it was because it was $2.
Yeah, and the plan was with Scout and with Scoot, they do a comic book and then they do a graphic novel. It's called Nonstop. But unfortunately, last year they had the pandemic and printers had problems with paper shortages and everything, so they kind of put it on hold. And I think it's sometime later on in the year. But I didn't want people to wait almost a year to get more story content from Stanley, so that's why we decided to do the Kickstarter to get people salivating and getting themselves in the Christmas spirit. So when it comes time to order like a little comic book stores and for bookstores and everything like that, they'll be ready.
Okay, so Scout is still going to continue with further adventures of Stanley, but this
Oh
is...
yeah. There's a 128-page full graphic novel that's ready to go, and it will be in bookstores and local comic book stores. The problem was we didn't know at the time when we were planning the Kickstarter when that was actually going to happen. I think since it's been running, I found that it might be November of this year. So that's kind of what's going on. So the Kickstarter is to give the next 24 to 28 pages of the actual story that is just right after the comic book for Scout. And for a lot of people who have not gotten the Scout comic book, the Kickstarter allows you to get issue 1 from Scout and issue number 2. So you can get 2 books, 48 or so pages.
For those who haven't been introduced to Stanley already, that's a perfect buy.
Yeah.
Earth's Best Entertainment. Hey, welcome to the chat. Glad you're here. Having seen your work, this is something that's right up your alley. So I'm glad you're here to see this. I'm going to share the screen here because this is Stanley. Now, Austin, what is are you the writer and artist, or are you a writer hiring an artist?
No. Yeah, I'm just the writer and the creator on this. So when I first started, I wanted an animated look, and we had an artist, Casey Moyer, right out of art school. She was extremely talented, but it just wasn't, the timing wasn't right with her, with me. It just didn't quite happen. So when thinking about trying to get back into and really kind of get Stanley up and going again, my son-in-law loves anime and manga and really gave me an education on what's it all about in the art form. And it's absolutely fantastic. And I didn't know there's like 40 different type of art styles. I knew nothing about that, but I knew that this is exactly the type of art that I wanted. And I found a great artist, Juan Pablo Montenegro Marcial is the series artist, and he's fantastic. The colors is Fabri Ferdinand and Dan Strada helped with that. And then Nikki Sherman helped me do the lettering. So it was a great collaboration. I had a great art team that did exactly what I was hoping for. So.
Very cool. And you got some unique stretch goals here. You got the and these are stretch goals that a young audience would find cool to have. You got the bookmark, the postcards, little mini posters. I love this Polaroids thing on the wall. That's a great Christmas hang on the wall decoration every year, I think.
Well, yeah, Anna Zuo did the artwork. That's actually a cover for a convention variant that Scout put out. It was like a limited run of like 2,500. It did fantastic.
Yeah. I do this all the time, Austin. I spend other people's money when they come on the show. But I think one of the stretch goals that I would really like to see on here if I were running a Christmas campaign is Stanley Christmas ornaments, just a little flat acrylic with the hole in it.
We did that for the first Kickstarter. We did.
See, it made sense, didn't it?
Yeah, we did. And it went out well. I just figured with it being April, that might not exactly be the best thing, but I do sell them at conventions and people are able to get them. And once this is all done, we're going to have a web store for different Stanley stuff that can be sold. And that might be one of the things we put up there.
Very cool. You even have a cover that's meant to be colored.
Yeah. So Scout does a coloring book variant cover.
And now, is that on the regular slick paper, or do they actually change the paper style out? The paper stock?
No, it's cardstock. You can do art on it. It's made specifically for just using crayons or markers or whatever that you want to do.
That's perfect. Everybody's going to be their own colorist on this issue.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about who Stanley is and why people should be interested in him.
Sure. So whenever I'm doing interviews, I say so a lot. It helps me launch into what I'm going to be talking about. I'm trying to get better.
We all do it.
So Stanley is something that's a creature that's actually being brought to life every holiday season by one person in a generation of the family. And every generation, the person with that magical ability has to add something to Stanley. In a previous, it was like the scarf, or it was the hands, arms, it was the hat, it was the nose. Jenny Love is a bit of a loner, doesn't have a whole lot of friends, but she loves her family, and she loves the holiday season, and she loves the ability to bring Stanley to life. And she does it by making a locket. And her dad is a jeweler, helps her with it, and that's how she's able to bring Stanley Snowman to life. And Stanley incorporates all the family history and the holiday spirit.
So they're all, Stanley's not like Frosty was, where he's like a surprise to the adults that there's a talking snowman. They expect him to show up.
So the parents kind of believe but don't believe. It's one of those things where there's the history and the stories of it, but they haven't necessarily seen Stanley. It's not that they don't believe. It's just for some reason they don't glean him. He just kind of stays out of the limelight. He stays away from people because he doesn't want to freak people out. But for issue number 1, it's all about bringing Stanley to life. And then the twist is when you find out the family decides to leave their house in Maine and travel down to Florida to spend Christmas in Florida for the holidays, leaving Stanley behind. And issue 2 is, what is Jen and Stanley going to do to stop this from happening so they can spend Christmas together? And you meet their main protagonists, Styles Weatherby and Skip.
All right, so he's got to keep them where there's snow and where there's Christmassy stuff, not beaches and cell phones and stuff like that. These covers here are for the first issue. These are all available in this Kickstarter. Is that
everything? Yeah, everything but the coloring book cover, which is a stretch goal. But yes, technically they are all available.
Okay. I love these I can read covers. I mean, that just harkens back to the whole the Dr. Seuss, the P.D. Eastman, all those classic books that we read when we were just learning to read ourselves.
Oh yeah, Nate Johnson, who does a lot of stuff for Comics Tom 101. He did those covers. He's really, really good. He was the cover artist for the Home Alone cover that you'll be coming up with and taking a look at.
Okay. Now this is the interior artwork. This is interior number 1 because she's bringing him to life.
Interior for number 1. Yep.
So do we have interiors for book 2 here? Because you did say you switched artists.
Oh yeah,
out.
no, yep, just a little bit farther down.
All right. And by the way, folks, it's 100% done, ready to be printed. So there's no waiting on lettering, waiting on a colorist, waiting on anything else. And if you want to back it, the link is the very first thing you'll see below this video, and it won't take you away. It'll open a new window. Click it, throw money at it, just like Earth's Best Entertainment just did.
Yay! Thank you.
Which means something I get to do whenever this happens. We call this is our shake and bake moment.
It's shake and bake, and I help.
Earth's Best Entertainment, you help. So thank you for having that shake and bake moment for us there. This is the now what is this a cover or print?
Right. So this is the retro cover. This is actually a concept sketch that Casey Moyer did in the very beginning, and what we would use it for preliminary covers to kind of try to get it picked up, and then this is the retro cover that she did the pencils, I did the inks, the coloring, the background on.
Okay.
So this would be considered cover C, I believe.
I like it. It's very cool. I like the hands. It's not the usual, find a dead branch and stick it in there. These are things that have been saved and passed down to be added to this snowman every year.
Exactly.
They're crafted.
Yep.
Now, is this also cover for number 1?
Yeah, that's cover A. If you scroll down just a little, you'll be able to see the cover.
Oh, here we go.
That's done by series artist Juan Pablo. Mm-hmm.
So what you're seeing here is what you're going to see on the interior of the book as well.
Yeah, this is the cover. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see the breakdown of the actual how we do the pages, and then also the interiors that are finished. And this is the Home Alone homage that are done by made by Nate Johnson.
That's cool. I recognized it as soon as I saw the hands up there. This is that's a very nice homage to another great Christmas movie. And yeah, Edie, you're correct. We do need more family-friendly indie works to be noticed, and that's why I was very happy to get Austin on the show tonight here. You can get this in a digital form. So folks out there who are watching who I know have to have digital and are digital backers, $3. Is number 1 available as a digital? Because I know that's a question always comes up.
Yeah, it is. In the add-on section, you can't add issue 1 digital to it. It's just $3 also.
That's wonderful. Physical copy is only $5 for your basic cover. Basic cover A. That is super cheap for a crowdfunded book. I mean, people are used to spending $20 for something like that.
And my reason for that it's an all-age kids book. You want kids to be able to get it also, so they don't want the sticker shock to tell their parents. You know what I mean? Yeah, and if you're getting it through crowdfunding, more than likely the adults are the ones on the crowdfunding site. They can get more than one if they got more than one kid. Hey, buy these for grandkids. Here, I'll have a copy. Mm-hmm. And of course, if you recognize the collectability of it, you'll go for the special covers. The $10 for the Home Alone cover, the $20 for this retro style. It looks like an old style Christmas card. Exactly.
That's perfect. $10 is the catch up, where you'll get a copy of 1 and 2. You don't even have to add it on. There's a tier built for it. And if you are, a master collector, you want to get everything, all 3 covers of issue number 2 for $40, all covers of 1 and 2 for $50. There you go. You've got the complete printed collection, the whole catalog.
Yeah.
And now I put on my Don Pardo voice and say, but wait, that's not all you get. So you got metal covers here. Now, that's not something you normally see on a kid's book.
No, I had a few collectors that asked me to kind of do it, and I've never tried it before. So I'm like, all right, we'll see if people will have an interest for it. And I think they'll look really cool with the metal version to it. Yeah, people do love metal. I've seen people do jeweled covers now, where there's actually. I'm just wondering, is there any? I would look around. I'd have to ask beginners who do it. I would look for something like a frosted cover. You remember when we were kids? You'd put the stencil on the window and you'd spray the snow. Yeah. And then you pull the stencil away, and there's a little snowed on pattern. And then in April, your dad's out there with an ice scraper, still trying to get it off the window, and it won't come off. Mm-hmm. I think originally, originally there's a satin finish that you can put on covers, but with paper shortages, it was very expensive compared to the metal. So I didn't think it was cost effective to offer that. Now maybe down the road we maybe do something as like a one off or just one cover. But that, I liked your idea, and originally I kind of thought that, but yeah, cost wise it was like, that's really expensive.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what it would cost. I said just something I would explore if you're going metal and all those other things, just to make it Christmas.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, it's a great idea.
You can get, what is this? This is the metal limited cover for $75, number B, and you can get both covers in metal and regular. So you got a reading copy.
Yep.
For $140. And then we get to the original art. This is who's doing the art for the original art? You are
doing the artwork. Yeah.
Well, you're an artist in your own right. So why were you not? Why didn't you do the art for the interiors? Not your style?
Well, my art style is more of a superhero-y kind, and sometimes a fantasy. I can't do anime to save me. I've tried. I'm horrible at it. So I thought I'll leave it to the experts who are much better at it than I am.
It is its own style, and it's deceptively simple looking.
Yeah.
I mean, depending. You got Pokemon, and then you got Ghost in the Shell, and they're like, oh, both anime. But wow.
That's what I mean. There's like 40 different art styles. It's crazy.
And you also do the cover on the sketch cover if people want that.
Yeah, that's one of the main things art wise I do. I do sketch cards, and I can do sketch covers.
Okay, so you got a card for $20, the cover for $100, and then a full color cover for $320. So that's a nice looking layout there, and the colors and the shading.
Thank you.
Worth it for the original art, folks. There will be add-on swag. You can get stickers of Stanley and Jenny, and these will be vinyl die cut. Nice. I like die cut stickers.
Yeah, me too.
They look like more effort's been put into them. I've seen the sheets of, look like you went to Walmart and got a sheet of 2x6 circle stickers, just print and pull them off.
Yeah.
Cut with scissors. Yeah. This is better. The script, you can get the issue number 2 and the drawn out comic script for it with the what is it? 1 of 24 drawn out pages. So this is the original art. This is the layout.
Yeah. So what I did with one to save a little bit of time is I drew layouts of what I was thinking for pages. So for this, you get the actual script page that goes with the layout page, and then the actual finished comic book all in one.
Wow. For $30 for the layout page, I've never seen anybody offer the original layout pages. It's always, the original pencils or something. That makes this unique and definitely collectible, because there's only 24 of those in existence. You've also got the Stanley swag one here, which is mini posters. I know I'm rushing through here. I'll explain to the chat. Austin's in a situation where he's not in the best place to chat. We probably won't go the full hour. We're going to try and rush it along, but we do what we must. So if I'm going too fast and you want to interrupt and interject something, please do. Everything's available as an add-on.
Yep.
And this is the stuff. Oh, this is lovely here. What you can follow the flow of the whole creation process. These are the layout pages that you've got offered on that one tier.
Yep.
And we can see how it became the line art that it became. This is, if you're an artist of any caliber and you want to be a comic writer, this is the best way to communicate to your artist what you want to see. The flow is just perfect. He captured everything dead on.
Thank you.
And then lettering. Lettering is something that I would have a hard time with as an artist, because I'd just be drawing the picture and be like, oh wait, where do the word balloons go now? You
got to figure out as an artist how you're going to lay out the page so the lettering fits good. It's not laying all over people. And then sometimes the artist just doesn't do that. And then the letterist really has to use their skills to make sure that it flows properly. You can actually read what's going on without taking away too much from the art.
Yeah, and then there are writers who don't take it into consideration either, and they give you a novel on a page, and we've seen these pages where it's like beautiful art covered in word balloons. You couldn't even
Yeah,
see
just
the
one after
art.
another was like pretty much 2/3 of the panel.
Yeah. But now these interiors we're looking at now. This is book 2.
Yep, this is issue 2.
Okay, so it's not that much of a departure from the first one, I think.
No.
And it
issue
actually
1
is more advanced.
with the artwork.
Yeah. I think the coloring is more advanced on it.
Yeah, the coloring. Yeah. So Dan Strada did the first 24 pages, and then with the pandemic, he had to step away. His family owned a business, so he kind of decided to help them with that. So Fabry jumped on with issue 2, and there's a subtle difference. You can tell there's a little bit more quality for issue 2. Not to take away from Dan, but overall, there's a good fit between. There isn't that much of a jarring between issue 1 and issue 2, I think.
Right. And at some point, issue 1 and 2 will be coming together into the graphic novel.
Exactly. Yep.
And that's what's going to be available at Christmas time.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
All right. So this is where she's learning that they're going to go to Florida, and Jenny keeps something of a Punisher's war journal.
Yes. Yeah, she loves her grandfather. Her grandfather was in the war. He was a colonel. So it's all about the military. It's all about, planning. It's all about strategy. That's like her thing.
So I take it she's probably not too keen on going to Florida.
Not in the least. No.
So it's going to be. I'll be interested in seeing how Stanley's going to stop them, because it looks it looks here like he's not stuck in that snowman form all the time. Like he can squish and puddle up.
He can kind of move with the snow. He has the magical ability to kind of move himself and go from snow to snow. So yeah, there's a kind of a magical. So that way he's not quite seen.
But he has been seen by somebody with a camera.
Yes, that is Styles Weatherby and his cameraman Skip. Styles Weatherby is a local weatherman who wants to make it big and get back to the big game. And if he thinks he gets the story, he's going to be able to get on like the Today Show or Good Morning America. Like this is his redemption story. But he's actually like not the villain, but he's
the foil.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he's the guy who's trying to hinder things. So,
well, good luck, sir. You're after a snowman that can disappear on you. So I'm going to refresh. Although this is Kickstarter, I shouldn't have to reload. You're at $31.81 of the $3,900 goal. Are you concerned at all about the $710 left?
Actually, I had a buddy of mine who tried to get on to pledge and wasn't able to. So they cashed out me $100 and wanted me to put it on there. So I think we're like $600 some odd in 6 days. I have some people that are going to be backing. Who knows? I hope we can get funded. We'll see. It
is Kickstarter, so last couple of days,
yeah.
A lot of people come in then because the way Kickstarter takes your money at the end instead of right when you give it to them.
Right. Yeah. I didn't put as much, unfortunately. I didn't have time to really kind of pre-pro set a lot of things up ahead of time. My daughter had to go into the hospital for surgery. That's where I'm at. I'm in the waiting area for, just done visiting her. She had surgery about 10 days ago, major surgery. She's doing better, good recovery. So that's been kind of what's been going on for the past 2 weeks. So my full focus hasn't been on the whole Kickstarter thing. So I'm very thankful for everyone who's backed and it's gotten us where we are now. And I'm hopeful that in the last few days, people like who thought about backing will end up backing. We'll make our goal. It'll be good.
And that allows me now to say, I usually don't say anything about liking and sharing the videos because I do this for, I have other ways of making money with this company. This is the way to promote comics. but I will ask you to share at least this video so that Austin's work can get in front of your friends and their friends, and spread this around so that people can come in and see it, and then follow the link to the Kickstarter and get it backed. It's got 6 days. It's a week to get $600 more. That's doable. We can get this done if we just get in front of all the right people. We all know people who want to back family-friendly comics. We're complaining about it all the time, the lack of it. So put this in front of them, and for the $5 to $10 minimum that they're going to be putting for a basic book, everybody put your money where your mouth is on this one and get behind this book. Austin, I am going to let you go early here because of the situation. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about Stanley here that people should know about? What his future is? I mean, a book 3, a book 4.
Oh yeah. So here I go with so again.
Okay.
This book is made specifically for the entire family to read, for parents and kids to read, and hopefully becomes a new family tradition in the holidays for everyone to read together and maybe get passed on. Who knows? That's my hope, and it's been happening. When Stanley issue 1 came out around the holidays, I heard from families that they started doing so, and to me, that's exactly what I was hoping for. In regards to new stories, we're going to go prequel. We're going to go back in time and visit the previous predecessors who made the scarf, who made the hands, and the adventures and everything Stanley had with them. And so there's a lot of material that kind of go about and talk about, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. So that's something I want to explore.
Get back to that very first Stanley coming to life story.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? I know that part of what you do is also you're a character actor. You've done movies and stuff.
Yep.
Are you in touch with the right people who can take this and convert it to other medium?
Well, Sony Animation asked for materials to look at it, and we sent it over to them. So, fingers crossed. We'll hope and see. I have a feeling that once the graphic novel's out and the entire story is out for everyone to really fully look at, that's when I think we'll find out where we're standing. But I've had a lot of people kind of poke, like, hey, let's touch base once it's out. Hey, let's have a chat again. So
excellent. I hope that comes through, because I could see that being a holiday special that people would enjoy watching again and again and again.
Yeah.
Especially with DVDs being a thing, it's not like you got to run home and make sure you're in front of the TV at 7 for Rudolph, or you miss it for a year.
Yeah, but wasn't that fun though, to make sure that you had times and dates? You made sure that the family ate early so you could go in front and watch, Charlie Brown Christmas or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was appointment television. I remember when the only time we could watch Miracle on 34th Street, and there's only one of them, with Edmund.
Yeah, there is only one. I agree.
We had to catch it on PBS and sit through all the donation begging that they would do for funding. Because that was the only place that showed it. Was you had to watch it there and sit through the fundraiser. Made it 3 hours long, but it was worth it every time. Austin, absolutely worth it. Thank you so much for coming on tonight and bringing Stanley to our audience. Best of luck to him. Best of luck to your daughter. I hope that whatever brought her in there is fully taken care of. Won't be anything that she has to go back for in the future.
I didn't mean to cut you off. This surgery is for long term, and she did well. And so far, everything's great. She'll have to go back to take care of something, but then otherwise she's good to go, and she should be fine for a long time. So thank you. This was a year in the making, and might not have been the best time to launch a Kickstarter. I had thought that I would push it off till after she came home, but brain being what it was, the whole thing was. So everyone who's back, everyone who's watching, thanks for having me on, man. I've been looking forward to this a lot, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone who loves all age stuff, because God knows we need a lot more of it in comic books and stores. And once you get it, you're going to love it. I guarantee it.
Fantastic. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for showing up tonight. We don't have a show without you, so we appreciate you being here all the time. And as always, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.